Randy, I saw a cartoon this weekend.
Okay.
Right after Christmas, by the way, Merry Christmas, buddy.
Same to you.
But I saw a cartoon that I now understand why I didn't get anything for Christmas.
Oh,
Santa couldn't bring me anything because the supply chain is so screwed up.
I hear there was a shortage on reindeer food also, and so that impacted it. Also, I happened to see, true story, I read it's been a couple of weeks back.
Those weren't true stories?
There was a candy cane crunch. Apparently, whatever mint goes into candy canes that had a bad growing season, and between that and the supply chain, Christmas wasn't canceled, but there were some changes. Hey, by the way, Randy Wooden, Goodwill Industries, Northwest North Carolina. I'm the director for our professional center, and happy to help. If you're a job hunter and you're kind of thinking, the first of the year, it's time to gear things up. Well, you're not alone, and our services are free. So please reach out to me. I do work by appointment. We're happy to try to help and have clients all across the country. So if you're within the sound of my voice, there's an old radio term. Feel free to reach out. We're happy to help, and hope you have a great new year. So Teddy, introduce yourself and we'll dive into this today.
Yeah. For those who don't know me, I'm Teddy Burriss. I own a business. Normally I would point behind me and say Burriss Consulting, but I'm on location in a hidden space somewhere outside of North Carolina. And but my business is all about teaching LinkedIn as a business tool, and the new division we kick off next year is teaching Google Workspace and Gmail as business tools. But everybody who's within the sound of my voice, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Welcome to the transition to 2022. Randy and I get together a couple times every week. And we share stories and tips. And on Mondays today, we'll talk about our upcoming special guest that Randy will tell you about in a few minutes. But before we do that, hey, Randy, I bet you got a story.
Well, we had Christmas, and this is not the first Christmas under the COVID umbrella.
Yeah.
I hope it's the last. But there's a whole lot of stuff that goes on. I mean, Christmas and, the whole rationale and the whole, the faith and Jesus and you've got all that. And that's really, that should be the core of it for those in the Christian faith. And, we've seen it be co-opted by commercialism and quite frankly, by politics too. Yeah. I can remember getting together, not just Christmas, but Thanksgiving and others with family members who may, let's just say, have divergent views on things. But this whole COVID thing and the vaccinations and all of that, the mandate, the mask mandate and all, wouldn't it be just so nice to just not have to have that and just focus on Christmas? But, the whole COVID thing has caused families to not be able to get together in person. For health reasons. And for those who do, then you run into the politics issue too. And so, you just wish it would all go away. And maybe next year when we're doing this show once again, we'll be able to say that that's in the rear view mirror, but it wasn't this year. And it's impacted a lot of folks. So again, it is what it is. But that's just an observation that it's sad that it's come to that we have lost the normal that we used to have. Yeah.
I'm with you, buddy. Yeah. So, let's just hope that 2022 is all that we had hoped that 2021 would be. So
absolutely. Yeah. I second that. Thank you.
Hey, here's my story.
Yeah.
It's based on an edict that I have. And that edict is this. Mm-hmm. My time is expensive, and it's more valuable for me to give that away than my money. Now, Randy, I know we talk about money all the time, and I don't get paid for this show, but that's okay. Because, it's a labor of love. You and I say this all the time, man. It's a labor of love for us to do this, to help people and bring ideas. And it's the same thing with the holidays. I have a large family. I have 4 daughters, 4 son-in-laws, 12 grandkids, and I got a bunch of other kids out there somewhere that I don't know about. No, I don't. I'm joking. But anyway, for me, it is far more rewarding just to show up, just to give my time, and hang out with them and laugh with them and play with them. And, and those are way more memorable. That time, that 15 minutes, that half hour, that day, that week is far more memorable than that trinket, that tie, that gold watch, that Mercedes Benz I could buy for them. That, all that stuff can go away.
I'm accepting donations, Teddy, just so you know. I have room in the man cave for some of those trinkets. So in case you're still feeling,
yeah, you got room in the garage. You got room in the garage for a 2022 Mercedes.
You talking like a Matchbox Mercedes?
I was going to tell you, dude,
one of those little ones like that. Yeah, I have plenty of room. I get a whole room full of those, so I can handle that, man. No problem.
So my point of that story is that for me, I did that through the Christmas holidays. I'll do that through the New Year's holidays. Spend time with people, because your time is way more valuable to them, and you spending time with people that you love and care about is way more rewarding to you. So, all right, Randy, talk about who our guest is.
Well, I thought you might want to do that. That's going to be Markell Morris.
Yeah,
absolutely. As we kind of look over the horizon into the new year. So you will be the interviewer for Markell Morris. By the way, we had Juan Abreu this past week.
Yeah.
Excellent. I'll tell you, anybody who's in a job hunt, considering a job hunt, you need to go back and find that show. We post it throughout LinkedIn. It's on YouTube. It's on NC Wiseman. It's all over the place. You're going to love this, because he gave us some real world insight as to what goes on in the recruiting world. And if you're a job hunter, that's stuff you need to know. But this week, it's a different guest.
It's Markell. And by the way, the conversations with Juan was really fun. I enjoyed having him on. Markell owns a business called Futures in Motion. Markell Morris owns a business called Futures in Motion. She is a career counselor and a job search coach. And when I was talking with her, we were talking about challenges. We were talking about, a fear of the unknown. We were talking about changing our mindset so that we're more confident in our career growth. And I know we've talked a little bit about this in time, but it's really such an important conversation. We decided to bring Markell in to help us in this topic. So Markell's going to join us, the last show of the year, 12/29.
It is.
And, I really hope that when our audience shows up, they listen to her ideas about overcoming challenges and fears and, changing our mindset so we can be way more successful in that career transition, in that business goal setting, growth, et cetera, et cetera. So 12/29, 11:55 a.m. Join us in the real green room, not the off-site green room I'm in today. It'll be a whole lot of fun. So good. Wish you guys can all join us so we can close out the year celebrating with a big audience. So
absolutely. Hey, this time of year, I've got a tip for you. And let's face it, a lot of businesses, a lot of individuals, this whole, I'll call it the dead time between Christmas and New Year's. A lot of companies take the week off. A lot of people take the week off. And not that there's anything wrong with that. That was a line from a sitcom, wasn't it? Not that there's anything wrong with that. I'm not saying that. But what I might suggest to you is something that I've been doing, and that is taking this downtime, the slower time, to review your LinkedIn, for example, or review your resume if you're a job hunter, or review your social media in general. One of the things that I did is, and I'm still doing it, is going back through, and I've got, like you, I've got thousands of connections. I don't have as many as you do, but I have more than the average bear, let's just say. And so what I do is I go back and I look to see if they ask to connect with me. I always send a note back to them. Hey, I'm happy to connect. How can I help you? Because again, a lot of them are potential job hunters. They just don't know to do a customized invite. But I'll tell you what, when they don't respond with anything at all, and it's been 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 years since they sent this generic request, we've had no engagement in that amount of time. It's dead wood to me. Might as well clear it out. might as well clear it out. Now, I know your business model is a bit different in wanting people to follow, and I get that. But in my work with the professional center, I look at those as potential folks that might need job hunt help. And so I extend that message to say, how can I help you? I'm going to invite you to join our professional center LinkedIn group page. So I take the initiative, but if they don't follow up with anything or a simple, even thanks, then at some point, why'd you want to connect in the first place? I've given you the chance to explain something. You haven't done it. It's been a year, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you're out. And so I would encourage folks to review your LinkedIn page, not just the content of your personal page, but also what I'll call the strength of your connections, and make some time to send some messages to people. If nothing else, hope you have a great new year, prosperous new. I do that on Facebook a lot when it's somebody's birthday, that kind of thing. But to take the opportunity to engage with folks where it's relevant, and where it's not relevant, it's not the end of the world just to say, hey, dude, you're out. You're out of here. You're fired. You're fired.
You know what this is, Randy? You know what this is?
It's a Rolodex card.
Yeah. So what you just said is if you don't respond to me and engage with me on LinkedIn, I'm tossing you out of my Rolodex.
I get it. It makes sense. Yeah.
You know me, my model's a little bit different. I don't connect with them until they engage with me. They've got to engage with me even if it's just to say, please, I don't care. You got to engage with me. And then I'll hit that accept button and then figure out how to take you through my processes, which again are a little different than yours, as they should be. So Randy, here's my tip.
All right.
Every year we subscribe to newsletters over and over throughout the whole year. We just keep subscribing to newsletters. Okay. And in time, we discover that most of these or many of these are of no relevance to us, no interest to us. So my tip for the end of every year is to start trimming those things out, unsubscribe to them, get rid of them. But what I'm doing differently this year that may be worth doing is if you get a newsletter from someone who you think is relevant to you, call them, give them a call and say hi. And say, if they take the call, then maybe the newsletter is worth keeping. If they don't take the call or you can't call them, then make a decision yourself. Was this newsletter impactful to me in 2021? Did it help me in any way? If it did, keep it. If it didn't, get rid of it. The internet is full, Randy. There's not enough space for all these freaking newsletters. So it's time for us to start getting rid of them, because I'm telling you, there's going to come a day when the internet's going to bust a button and it's just going to be so freaking full of newsletters, it'll be aggravating. Did I say that bluntly?
I think if I keep eating, apple pie and ice cream, I think I might just pop a button or two here over the holidays. Make a good point. And let me just add to that just a bit here. One of those is, we know people. We have personal friends who are entrepreneurs who have added us to the list. And it's somewhat personal if you drop off, because they get notified of that, And so you almost feel, it's almost like if you get a gift from somebody and it kind of sucks and you tuck it away in a drawer.
To re-gift it?
Or re-gift it. But then when they visit, then you bring it out and you're like, oh, this is not, the whole charade. Yeah. But it's also the same on LinkedIn, Facebook, and others. When you get invited to like a page, and you kind of give them the benefit of the doubt and do it, and then at some point, in the dark of night, you go in and you unlike it or unfollow it, and it's just you hope they don't notice it, because you want them to like your stuff.
Randy, I saw you, dude. So anyway, that's my tip, and I'm with you, buddy.
Good one.
Is, clean up your stuff. So look. Dude, good seeing you today. By the way, in case you know, that is not what time it is, Randy. That clock does not have batteries working in it, so you can't go to lunch yet.
Teddy, speaking of batteries, I was talking about purging the deadwood. I purged over the last week or two. I purged about 800 from my connection list, and I have worn out a couple of batteries in my mouse doing that. Yeah. So it's, and not to mention my fingers are arthritic now. So,
oh Lordy. Don't be throwing that back on the business. We ain't paying for that type of workers' comp. So, All right.
We're
Dave.
not. Hey, you have a great new year. We'll be talking to you, and we got a great show coming up on Wednesday. And again, thanks to all of us, all of you out there who have kind of stuck with us the last couple of years. It's been a good ride. We're going to look forward to a great new year as we take off to 2022.
Cool. All right, buddy. I'll talk to you later on. Take care.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.